Wait a second. That doesn't look right. Let me just try to fix this real quick. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's get back into that. Hello everyone, Rocco here, and today we're going to be talking about why you should shoot in log. If you couldn't already tell, at the beginning of the video, you could see that the picture before I edited it was honestly quite flat, and quite unflattering, haha, funny. Anyhow, shooting in log is something that if you want to get the most out of your Autel Evo, you should do. Because shooting in log allows you to get more dynamic range as well as more room for color grading in post. So, with that in mind, it does require you to work with it after you fly, which if you're just the kind of person who wants to take stuff directly off your SD card and just have it to use, well, then you don't really need to shoot in log. But if you're, oh my gosh, the lighting is changing, in a professional like kind of environment where, let's just say you're doing stuff for a client or you need to match the footage from the Evo with footage from another camera. What is going on out there? Oh my goodness, why is it? This is my first time trying this new setup. Not exactly working as well as I thought it would. Anyhow, shooting in log allows you to get so much more out of the Evo. And, well, once you shoot in it, you realize that, wow, the picture looks really flat. There's like no contrast, it just looks unfinished. So what you have to do is, in this case, I'm going to take it into DaVinci Resolve and show you how to get the footage back to normal or to what you want it to be. So, well, you go into DaVinci Resolve, you put it into the timeline, and for me, I'm just going to generate optimized media real quick, just so it gives me smooth playback. I'll probably make a video about that in the future because it is an incredibly useful feature of the software. Anyhow, once you have your video rendered out for optimized media or just in there if you have a powerful enough PC, you go down to the color tab. The color tab is where you, well, most people know, do color. So what you do there is you can kind of see that you have the image up on the screen. And what you want to do is go down to the bottom left corner where there is a menu where you see these dials and numbers and stuff, and there's color wheels and stuff like that. We're not going to touch the color wheels just yet, but what we will do first is touch the contrast. You want to raise the contrast to anywhere between 1.2 to 1.5. I would just see where you would want it to be. For the shots at the beginning of this video, I was around 1.4, 1.5, just depending on the shots. Sometimes if you're slightly overexposed, then you can't really add too much contrast because then it brings up the highlights. It's interesting how it works. Anyways, after you do that, you can bring up the page 2 of the bottom section and go into the, I would say, well, most important thing is making sure that you have balanced highlights and shadows. If you want to have depth in your video, you want to bring the shadows down or the highlights up, or if you're overexposed, bring the highlights down. You can bring the highlights down to a certain extent with the Evo. The ability to shoot in log is so you can bring down highlights if they're overexposed. And bring up shadows if they're underexposed, like it is like now since the lighting keeps changing. Now you have you just adjust them to the point where you want them to look good, and then of course after that go into your the color wheels and adjust the colors if you want to. You don't have to, but if you messed up your white balance or you feel like you want to make the highlights more orange and the shadows more teal, go ahead and do it. But just a fair bit of warning, if you push the shadows too far in one certain direction with the color, it'll look like crap on YouTube. Do not do it. Keep the highlights black. It also looks kind of fake, I guess. because you don't see like if you don't want, I want this to be black, this wall back here, it's technically black, but I'm having a hard time with that. I literally set this chair up not even like 10 minutes ago trying to figure out if this would work. So yeah, anyways, that is the general idea of how you take footage from the Evo in log and then turn it into usable footage that you want. And if you like this kind of way the footage looks, you can actually go and generate a LUT, or as the trendy filmmakers call it, LUTs. I'm not selling LUTs. I'm not gonna be that guy like, go to my website, buy my LUTs. No, you can make your own. I just taught you how. But you go right click, then you go to generate LUT, 3D LUT, because that's the better LUT. Sometimes for some reason the contrast doesn't carry over, so you might have to add contrast afterwards, but you have the LUT. So, oh, I just called it LUT like 5 times. Okay, yeah, so, okay. If you have any questions or comments on this video, please drop them down in the comment section below, and I will be sure to help you with that if you're having any issues in DaVinci Resolve or anything like that, or just any questions about the Evo in general. I can answer them for you, and be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It's free, and you'll get lots of awesome drone videos in your sub box, so do that, and I'll see you all in the next video. Also, what do you guys think of the new setup here? Let me just show it to you all real quick. So, yeah, white balance is slightly off, but I originally had this desk there, and I would sit in front of it and do stuff, but what I have this problem is this annoying green wall. I don't know why I painted the walls green when I first moved here. I thought it would be a good green screen. It's not the right color, but I feel like I have this problem where basically the green bounces back off into my face, and it's annoying to remove in post. This setup is the Evo. There's the Evo. Yeah. So yeah. See ya.